What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. It's your boy West Coast. And I'm going to tell y'all, I thought I was going to chill on this Friday. I thought I was going to let Law just hold it down for the nation like he always do.
Right.
And then Malik Hooker. God damn Malik Hooker. I can't have one day off. But hey, man, what it is, man, it's your boy West Coast. We live in the building, man. This is Cowboys UnCut. And on Cowboys UnCut, I got the fellas, because you guys already know I don't like being home alone. I like being up in here with a couple of these Cowboy content creators. Yeah, I know. Hey, Henny, log out real quick and log back in. Let me see if it kills it.
There we go.
All right, let me see if it kills it. I know. All right, we should be good now. Can you hear me, Henny? Is there echo now?
Now we good.
So it is him, huh?
Yeah, it's Henny, man. It's Henny, man. See what you're doing, dog. What's going on, everybody, man? What's up with you, Wes? What's up,
Yeah,
Henny, man?
hey, man. Listen to me, man. Listen, I was chilling this morning, man. Chilling. And this dude right here, Blue, hit my phone up, man. It's only a couple people that even have like my other phone number. You know what I'm saying? The other number. You know what I'm saying?
That
phone. Number. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I low-key thought it was my mama calling me. You know what I'm saying? But it was Jordan Tuck. I said, God damn it, Cowboys didn't sold the team.
Yeah, sure.
Something crazy didn't happen. But yo, man, I got my boy J Tuck in the building. What up, dude, man?
What's going on with you, my guy, man? What's up, Henny, man? What's up, Cowboys Nation? There's never a day off, man. So I'm gearing up for vacation, man. I'm about to leave the country in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But the Cowboys said, not so fast, my friend. It's always going to be something. And here's the crazy part, man. You know, we fathers, happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the chat, you know what I'm saying, on the channel. And my youngest, bro.
Hey, you know you're a real father when you tell somebody Happy Father's Day on June 28th.
Yeah, it's every day's a celebration, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, he just kept it pushing like he just like, bro, like it's like June 28th.
It's still happy Father's Day.
Like, yeah, man, you know, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Because we still working, man.
But, I love that.
But what I tell people is like, man, my youngest, bro, like you ever, you know what I'm saying, with your kids, bro, you ever clean the house, feel like you got everything taken care of, everything is good, you and your lady about to chill, and all of a sudden, you know, kids just make a huge, massive mess, knock over a cereal bowl, you know what I'm saying, spill their spaghetti on the ground. Like, that's what it's like being a Cowboys content creator covering this team, bro. When everything is quiet, they just got to make a mess. And today, bro, we were sitting back chilling, and they slapped their cereal bowl, dumped their spaghetti trays out, and here we go, man. So there's always something, bro. There's always something, man.
Yes, Lord. Hey, man. So listen to me. Listen, I just be sending links out. And sometimes people answer. It's like, listen, when stuff happen in the Cowboy Nation, it's like, you know, on Batman, my favorite movie of all time. He just put the signal up there, and then no matter what Batman do, he see the signal. He could be inside a building, he'll still see the signal. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, he'll be on a wall on the top of a building with the commissioner talking about, yeah, I said, man, we gotta go. So this is what I do every now and then, man. I just put a star in the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just put a star in the sky, man, and content creators just start coming in, man. It's just crazy, man. They just start showing up. We all in the back alley right now in our super cowboy outfits, trying to figure out how we gonna fix this shit. I'm like, Jay Tuck, this is what I want you to do. I want you to hold it down on Twitter, all the Twiggers. I'm gonna take care of Facebook, big time, and Henny. Y'all gonna do YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come out with a collaboration. Listen to me. It's some crazy stuff that happened a couple minutes ago. I actually might got the video on here so we can hear it. But listen, I just want to set it up. Malik Hooker was on a podcast with what's the dude name? He was on with Keyshawn Johnson, former Dallas Cowboy, former Dorsey Dog, you know what I'm saying, Los Angeles, California.
Hey, man.
What's up with you? Hey, Lou, we got the big time show in here too.
Yeah, no. Just don't say we got the big time show. Introduce me like Jerry Lawler just came out of somebody. The Undertaker just showed up. What's up, man?
I really had a brain blip because I was doing all that talking to introduce y'all, and then I went into the content. So I really had a brain blip.
Let me say hello to everybody that's here, and then let me say hello to the legendary Jay Tuck in the building. I ain't never worked with you, but great fan of yours. I don't know if you know me or not, but Yeah,
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing great work, man. We got to link up and do some work soon, man. I've been trying to take a vacation. I'm trying. They won't let me, y'all. They definitely won't let me, man. But yeah.
Oh, you a voice, man. We need y'all.
Appreciate
y'all
it.
Two legendary guys. Y'all can't take off. Me neither, but
I'm trying.
I'm sorry, Wes. You go
Hey,
ahead.
no, you good.
Sorry, don't take over.
I told you I had a brain blip, and then I got HDM. HDM, let me hear you.
I'm here, man, but you might hear machine noises in the background, man. You never know where I'm actually at, so it's all good.
All right, hey, wherever you at, you sound better than where you was before. I'll tell you that. Absolutely. So good job. Just stand to the left a little bit more. But let's get it though. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip.
All right.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
Not yet. Here we go.
And let's go.
But look, check this out though. So you're a veteran now, whatnot. How you feel? And be honest with me though. And I ain't trying to get you in trouble. I really don't care. But I gotta ask you this question. How you feel about Micah having a podcast during the season? How you feel about that?
Honestly, man, like, and this is me, like, I'm one of those guys, like, I'm not into that type of stuff. You know, some guys it works for, you know, like you see the Jason Kelce's and guys like that who are successful with the podcast as well as performing on the field and having success with it. So I don't have a problem with it. I feel like a lot of these guys, though, they just get on there sometimes and they start falling into the part of, you know, just saying stuff that, you know, for the clicks and, you know, having people to come view and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't have no problem with it. My thing would be, though, for Micah, my advice would be for Micah would be, you know, just make sure we're all right, you know, where and being where your feet are. Because if we're at work and, you know, the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and, you know, the run game is terrible, then, you know, what are you really caring about? Are you caring about the crowd that, you know, is watching your podcast? Are you caring about the success of our team and the Super Bowl that we're trying to reach? See what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, but also, you know, a lot of people got to remember, Mike is young. You know, he's still trying to find his way. He's still trying to grow into who he's trying to be. So I give him grace, you know, honestly. Like, I always hear people say stuff that he done said on the podcast or something silly he done said. But people got to remember, like, Mike is still a big kid. Mike is still a big kid. And, you know, you can't fault a big kid for, you know, trying to expand as well as experiencing still stuff that they ain't really been through. Because Mike only been in the league 4 years. Like, they're still experiencing stuff that he been through. He ain't never been through real adversity yet in the league. Like, he ain't seen that yet, you know. So I feel like over time and over these next couple of years of experiencing adversity that he hits, like, you'll see him start to change in how he approaches stuff like that, like the podcast and stuff like that. But like I said, it don't bother me, my guy. I honestly, like I said, I'm one of those guys, man. I focus on my play. You know, if I feel like it's affecting my play and our play as a defense or as a team, then I'll have something to say. But I really don't pay that much attention to it. I don't know, honestly. And even like, because what is it, on Twitter or whatever he has?
It's on social media or whatever, I guess.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's on Twitter or whatever the case. I think I'll be back then because I don't got a Twitter now. I lost my Twitter, but I think it was on Twitter. I was seeing it more so back then that it was popping up on there. But man, it just depends, man. You know, people's gonna have something to say about it, good or bad.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
All right, so I wanted to. I know I kind of allowed it to play, but I wanted to be able to hear that in it, so we could all hear it in its totality, and so that people could actually have, you know, get a realistic. Because sometimes, man, in a reel, you only get 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and if you take 30 seconds out of any conversation that I'm having, it's probably gonna sound crazy. So I wanted to really listen to it in its whole totality. So now that we've done that, what are you guys' thoughts?
So I'll go first, man. Get the echo back. Is that Henny again? Okay, whatever. Let's rock through it. So here is my problem. And my problem is not what Malik Hooker said, right? It has nothing to do with anything Malik Hooker just said. My biggest problem right now is that Micah Parsons is the low-hanging fruit. We've seen it all offseason due to slanderous campaigns and different things, questioning his leadership and everything right now. What happened on Twitter that caused this issue? Someone clipped just a certain portion of him saying you need to focus on the run game, and if that's not good to focus, because Cowboys fans have this thing about Mike in this podcast, so they just clipped that just small portion and posted on Twitter. That's what caused the ripple effect. It wasn't until other people started posting the full clip that you just posted, Wes, where you realize Malik Hooker was not slandering Micah Parsons in that. I'm 1,000% agree that everyone probably agree with Malik Hooker says. Like, we have no problem with it as long as it's not impacting his play and you're focusing. That's perfectly fine. But what happened was someone clipped it, perfectly segued up, said, hey, you should be focused on the run defense and run game and this like that, not doing podcasts because there's so many zombies that have been created in this Cowboys nation. That's what caused the fire. Micah Parsons sees that. That's all the clip that he gets. He responds to Malik and tags him. Now, once again, going back to that taller analogy, we just created a whole damn mess that did not need to be created because Cowboys fans are so thirsty to grab this low-hanging fruit. And that is my frustration right now. And I'll ask y'all, I do not understand why Cowboys Nation is so focused right now on eating our own. We have bigger issues. We ain't got no damn defensive tackles. Like we are focused on the dumbest, smallest things that we want to create a mess and look at the ripple effect. So even if, right, people listen to the whole podcast, the media doesn't need the whole podcast now. All they saw was Micah Parsons responding to Malik Hooker. They already screenshot it, even though he deleted it, and they're going to run off that with articles for the whole next week because now is the down season, and they're looking for something lazy to create. Cowboys fans have been manipulated and brainwashed where all they focus on is negativity, and there's nothing going on. Well, damn it, let's create some. Malik said nothing wrong in that interview when you played the full clip. But that's not what originally sparked on Twitter. When I originally called you, Wes, that wasn't the original clip that was posted on Twitter, and that's what Mike is responding to. Now look at the mess that it caused. Crazy. And that's where I'm frustrated. It's not with Malik. It's not with Micah. It's with Cowboys fans right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Does a podcast hurt y'all that damn much that we're looking to tear down our own 3-time All-Pro, top defensive player? Like, we're ready to tear him down just for the sake of that, of a podcast, bro, that everybody's watching right now. Brock Hoffman has a podcast. No one said anything. Jonathan Hankins had a podcast. Nobody says anything. Well, he needs to be more like Warner out in San Fran. He has a podcast. No one says anything. Max Crosby has a podcast. Nobody says anything. LeBron James has the list goes on and on and on. But for some reason, people have found something that really did get under their skin when it comes to Micah Parsons and his podcast, and they just won't let it go. Cowboys Nation, let it go. He's not going anywhere. He is the president of Bleacher Report. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So let there be something, y'all, that we can really digest and go against Mike on. If he goes out and gets a DUI or gets into a fight in the club, then we can address that. But we are talking about Micah's podcast. We're talking about what shoes he's wearing to a damn Mavericks game. Like, we're talking about nothing right now when we have real more pressing issues that's going to impact us on the film. And this is why I'm getting frustrated with Cowboys fans. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest. That's the same thing. It's the same thing I told. That's what I called him, bro, because I'm fuming right now.
Man, listen, I agree with you that it's not a issue, right? Because Malik Hooker said nothing wrong. He said what any other player would say in his position. Like, if it's not affecting the team in a negative light, I don't give a damn.
Right.
And he's a veteran player. He's earned the right to say that. He's a former first-round pick himself. Right? Actually won a NCAA championship when he played in college at Ohio State with Zeke and them. So he's not like a scrub. He got some cachet in that locker room. He's like, everything he's got in Dallas, he's worked for. So when he speaks, I think people listen. But I think people, like you said, will take it out of context.
Right.
Like you said, they don't need the entire interview to try to create a narrative out of thin air.
Right.
Like, you can cut stuff up to make it seem like he said something different. You can use that to twist his words, make whatever headline you want. And listen, I say it all the time. It's bad list season. Like, people make up all kinds of stuff and narratives because they still got to write. They still got to pay their bills. They still got mortgage to pay, car notes to pay. And if nobody's clicking and looking at the views or getting or looking at their articles, they ain't finna pay them bills. Their car finna go bad. That mortgage finna get foreclosed on. So they got to do what they got to do to generate these headlines.
Right.
So, and that's the tricky slope when we get on. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the line that we draw in the sand as players or as or as fans, where it's probably not a good idea to even go and speak to somebody.
Hey, Henny,
No
real
matter
quick.
what you say, they're gonna be a way to manipulate it. Like Malik Hooker did nothing wrong. Brock Hoffman has a podcast. Micah Parsons has a podcast. There's nothing wrong with him going on a podcast.
Right.
But at the same time, is it conducive to team building, chemistry building by saying anything at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, even though what he said wasn't bad, we're sitting here having an entire show about it because of the way it could be flipped around and took. I ain't see anything on Twitter. So was there a back and forth between him and Micah Parsons?
Oh yeah. Micah tagged Malik, and it was like, bro, you could have hit me directly if you felt that way. Like, you're my locker roommate. Our lockers are by. So, because Micah only saw that one particular clip that people manipulated and posted on Twitter. You see what I'm saying? So it made Malik look bad, and Micah's been poked at all offseason. So he responded to Malik like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like if Wes was like, yo, man, Tuck is my dog. That's my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? I just think that he needs to take things to another level. And then people's like just clip to take it to another level and be like, West Coast thinks that Tuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they did. They manipulated because people are so gung-ho of attacking Micah Parsons for whatever reason right now. That's what they did. And look at the ripple effect that it caused. Now it's out of our hands. You're going to see it on First Take on Monday. You're going to see it on ESPN Monday. And now we have another massive talking point that needs to be gone. And even though he did delete the tweet, it's already been screenshot. Everyone's tagging me, oh, Micah deleted. He should have stood on his words. Like, they've already created a monster with this situation because rightfully so. Micah just saw the clip. It was a 20-second clip. A lot of people watching this, right? Well, yeah, see, Wes even got the tweet right there. Boom, it's still up, right? It's that easy to find. You know, and you probably can't hear it differently, but it's like, yeah, if you can shrink it, Wes, they can read it.
Yeah.
Let me just say this real quick, and we can go on with somebody else can double back on what they're saying. When you're at a dead time like this, no football, the UFL is done. The Canadian Football League is almost done. My God, the Olympics is what we're getting ready to watch now. Baseball, if you're a baseball fan, then you're good. But if you don't watch baseball, then really the sports world is kind of, pretty much dead right now.
Right.
For this little dead spot. And if you ever notice on these talk shows, the First Takes and the Undisputed, I just use those two since everybody's used those. The show don't go on right unless there's something about the Cowboys in there. You want your ratings, if you want your clickbaits, if you want all that, all you got to do is say anything Cowboys, and you can do A block, a B block, whatever. You can go a C block. Can that get paid? Is CD gonna get paid? That's block B. Is Michael gonna get paid? That's block C. Before you know it, it's already the whole show over with.
Right.
So it's common sense to know that during this time, people will reach at anything. Case in point, just like Tuck said earlier, just like Henny just said, is it such a coincidence that this little segment was strategically put in place at the certain moment at a certain time because they knew if they put that out, it was going to cause controversy.
Well, here's what I'll let you know, Big Tom.
There goes a statement right there from Micah Parsons. If you want,
so there's the statement. So, and I get 1,000% what you're saying. My problem is this wasn't media generated. This was the fan base. I know the fans that did it. You know what I'm saying? They did this. So we created this mess.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to tell the Cowboys fans, we can't be hypocrites. We can't say, oh, the media is always creating drama or First Take is always creating drama. And we sit here and just toss them an alley-oop on a Friday.
Yeah.
We did this. Yeah. I had no idea to today Keyshawn Johnson even had a podcast. Anybody in here know? I had no clue, right? So we found that clip we manipulated, put it out there because there's a lot of people who wants to feast on Micah Parsons and look at what it costs, where ESPN sitting back and saying, oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that one. We got a whole segment on Monday. We got a segment on Tuesday.
I hate to say it like this, Tuck, but okay, go ahead. I have to hear Henry.
With the CeeDee Lamb situation. Nobody knew that was CeeDee Lamb mama talking crazy.
Right.
About Dak Prescott to somebody else brought it to their attention.
Yeah, we are creating messes now, Cowboys Nation, and this is where I'm frustrated. I can't control what ESPN does. I can't control what Fox does, but the one thing that we do have our voices on is Cowboys Nation, right? So what I'm trying to say, like you said, Henny, we are creating these messes. That whole CeeDee Lamb mob, and at least the guy who created, he went out and apologized because he didn't know it was going to be that. But we are creating messes and bigger messes for our own team, which I don't understand. Why are we doing that? Like I
think I can answer why it doesn't make sense to me, but here's the answer to now on my show. I'm quite sure on your show, and I know Henny has it because I've been on his show, and I know Wes has it, been on his show. You have this divide in the chat line that are 1,000% all Cowboy fans, and then you got some people in there who are really Cowboy fans, but they have taken the Jones approach when it comes to paying these players. And they've already said, hey, instead of paying these guys, listen, we'll go back to the wilderness. We'll let go of these 12-win seasons. We'll let it go. We just not going to pay these guys because we can't afford to do it. And you really got some fans who really think like that. So the same way we say we have a pulse or a hand in Cowboy Nation, the content creators, then there are some that are in our chats that says we're gonna push our narrative. We don't want to pay that.
Right.
We don't want to pay $30 million. We don't want to put the CD. We don't want to pay Micah Parsons. Right. And if that is the case, they're gonna put their stamp on it the same way, with the same force and the same intensity that we're coming back and say, hey, we need to pay Dak. He's a good quarterback. We need to pay CD. It is what it is. This is the market now. This is what's going on. So to answer your question, the same fire that you got, I want to know what is the base or the foundation of the people that want to go back to the wilderness per se. You want to go back to 8, 7-win seasons by letting go of your best players. I don't understand it, but that, to answer your question, that's what it is.
Those manufactured zombies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all that happens for one person to get bit this offseason. Talked about Micah being lazy, and then it just started having a ripple effect where all of a sudden you turn on Micah Parsons, our best defensive player, and you don't even know why. you don't know why. People are mad at Micah Parsons. They don't even know why. And it's because it's been manufactured drama that the fan base and the media has created, which is frustrating, man. Because think about this. There was 2 clips. The one clip of that we just talked about, that was like a 20-second clip. Another 15-second clip was posted. Malik Hooker saying that he thinks that CeeDee Lamb should get paid first, and then Dak, and then more than likely Mike is going to have to wait because he's still young. So Malik Hooker said Micah shouldn't be paid, and also he shouldn't be paid he shouldn't be on a podcast. He's a real leader. He's a true leader. You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? If you read, I know everybody can see that what Malik said. It's just if it's good, it's not worth reporting. But if it's horrible or controversial, let's run with it. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it is.
And I'm gonna tell you something too. I also think that Malik Hooker also learned something too, and that is he also stressed how young Micah is. He, as a leader, you have to understand the tone of the room. And to a degree, Malik has to understand that when you say something in the media, unless it is absolutely 100% equivalently in support of someone, you should say it to the dude when you see him.
Right.
And that is the only thing that I will say. And also, I'm going to say this too, Malik. I feel that you got set up. Why? Because whenever I hear an interviewer ask me a question, hey, West Coast, hey, listen, man, I know Tuck is your boy.
Right.
It's your boy.
Right.
But I don't give a damn.
Right.
I don't give a damn.
Right. You see the setup.
I don't care.
There you
go.
Right.
I don't care if you, you know, if Tuck your boy. You know what I mean? What is it really like? You know.
Right.
What is it? You know what I mean?
Fishing. They fishing. They
Bruh,
are fishing. They are fishing.
It is.
How do you go from talking about Dan Quinn and Coach Zimmer to, you know, tell me how you really feel about
Micah Parsons and I'm gonna tell you this right here. Like, this is what I would say that Malik has to learn, and that is this: you have to learn how to, as well as everybody say, you got to stand on proper business,
right?
Because I think he did a leadership. He was definitely a leader in what he said. And I made a video saying that I personally didn't have a problem with anything that he said. And Micah, I even said, Micah, I'm talking to you. I don't think you should have a problem with anything he said.
Right. Right.
But after thinking about it, I say this: Malik, you got to understand, dog, this is 2024. So 99% of the time that you open your mouth and you say something in the media, you can guarantee that it's going to be Be quiet or I'm turning it off. You can guarantee that it's going to be misunderstood. Like, it's going to, matter of fact, go get dressed for practice. Go. You know what I'm saying? You can guarantee that it's going to be.
That's why I said Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but you know, it's like, bro, like, I'm going to be honest with you, Malik. Dog, this your boy West Coast. My daughter, listen to me, Malik Hooker, in the final play of that, or final play of the Philly game, where he made that interception at the end of the game, walks off the field, hands me his gloves, right? My daughter played in those black gloves all season. So I got mad love for Malik. Mad love for him. You know what I'm saying? She played in those gloves all season. But, dog, Malik, don't nobody know who you are, dog. So, since don't nobody know who you really are, relevancy, you gotta know that you coming on Keyshawn Johnson's show to say something crazy, and if you don't, his show is not going to do very much numbers.
Right.
So you gotta understand the setup, dog.
Take the bait.
Like, Malik, this is what I'm gonna say. Yes, Micah took the bait, but you took the bait because you was on a podcast complaining about another dude on a podcast.
Right. Who ain't been podcasting in a minute. Like, that's what,
what are we doing?
Can I also throw this in, man?
Go ahead.
Malik, initially I said Malik said nothing wrong. I'm a backtrack that a little bit. You know to never answer no questions about nobody contract.
Well, yeah, that's where he really messed up. The other clip was worse than what he did with the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that was worse in my opinion. You don't answer no question about that. Not no figures, not who should be paid first, none of that. You got to pay the fifth one.
Yeah, so that was way worse for the podcast. But people have this thing about this podcast, which I don't understand. It is by far the dumbest thing I've ever seen in all of sports that people are upset about a podcast. When I scouted Micah Parsons back in 2021, if the worst thing about him was going to be a podcast, I'd have said, so we need to trade up to go get him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. You know, it's crazy.
Let me say this real quick, and then we can move on. I just believe that Tuck, I think if I remember some of your shows, you worked in TV or whatever. There's a term that's called media savvy.
Yeah,
Malik is really, to me now, is no excuse for him because he's been in the league long enough to know the do's and the don'ts and the even, you know what I'm saying, the part about the contract. He ought to be media savvy enough to not fall into some obvious traps, even though it's Keyshawn and, you know, there's a somewhat of a player-to-player fraternity trust there. But you got to realize what Keyshawn is now. He's media now. He on TV every day. He's really media, and he's trying to grow his podcast. He's trying to grow, and what better way to get it than to get some clickbait, than to get some controversy going, so that people right today may be his greatest clicks on his thing. And so I'm going with it. He's been in media long enough to know how to try to, I ain't gonna say trap people, but know how to try to get information out of them. So it's obvious to me that when it came to media savviness, if we want to say that, Malik should have known a little bit better than what he did on that. So I do blame him for that part.
Right.
He's been in the league too long. Should
Right.
no excuses.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Malik, come on, dog.
Yeah, and remember, they all receive media training. So maybe he forgot he ain't brushed up, but that was not the way to go about it.
But see, what happens with it, Henny, is that it's Keyshawn. So like Big Tom was saying, they put their shoulders down a little bit. If that was probably like James Slater or Michael Gilkin, their antennas go up. But it's like, okay, it's Keyshawn. We just kicking back, talking on the podcast, so you get relaxed. And it's like, okay, they're relaxed a little bit. Let's toss out this trap. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I don't really think Keyshawn. I mean, he tossed out the trap, but I don't even think Keyshawn knew that he caught it. Cowboys Nation caught it and manipulated. You know what I'm saying? Like they did this. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because it's like we have this low-hanging fruit with Micah Parsons, the dumbest thing right now, over a podcast and some shoes. And people are lying in the chat right now saying he hasn't showed up the last 6 games. I could poke holes in that whole conversation if y'all wanted me to.
See, Tuck, those are the people I'm talking about.
Right, because they just got their food, they got their bait, they full right now.
They want the idea of even paying this guy.
Right,
they already got him gone, packed his bags already.
Yeah. All you have to do, Cowboys Nation, if someone says Micah Parsons didn't show up the last 6 games, ask them what Myles Garrett did the last 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him what TJ Watt has done in the playoffs, and it gets silent. Myles Garrett didn't have a sack the last 6 weeks of the last game of the season.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right here: sacks are not as impactful.
And exactly, bro.
They're not as like everybody. Listen to mine. They're a great stat to cat. They are a great stat to talk about. But everybody got mad at me. Everybody got mad at me.
Right.
I said, name me a sack that DeMarcus Ware had that changed the game.
Right.
Everybody got mad at me.
No, Wes. You were at Green. You were at the game. You were at the playoff game. If Mike would have had 2 sacks, that would have changed everything.
And listen, if I said sometimes my brain be moving, I meant to say DeMarcus. Did I say DeMarcus Ware or did I say DeMarcus Lawrence?
Lawrence.
I meant to say DeMarcus.
Lawrence. You saying Lawrence, but same thing. Yeah, I know you're talking about Lawrence.
I meant to say DeMarcus Ware. I meant to say DeMarcus Ware. And the reason why I was saying this is because when we were about to lose him and everybody was saying, give him as a ridiculous amount of money and he was going to go to the Denver Broncos, I was telling him like, yeah, but in Denver, he's going to be playing like an outside linebacker role where they're only going to be counting sacks. Like in Dallas, we needed more than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes DeMarcus Lawrence so impactful. Everybody's like, oh, and I'm gonna tell you, the Cowboys actually proved to you that they understand that sacks are more that sacks aren't as the whole number. Why? Because DeMarcus Lawrence got paid.
Right.
He did not. DeMarcus Lawrence ain't never had no 16, 17 sacks. Never.
Right.
Never.
Right.
And never will.
And here's the thing, Wes. Right now, everybody wants to stop the run. Well, who was our best run stopping defensive end?
For the last 5 years.
It's Steve Law, you know what I'm saying? You know, so it's just very hypocritical, right? I just don't understand it, right? Because if you say Micah didn't show up the last 6 games, and I show you the Dolphins game was arguably one of his best games of the season, then what? What are we talking about? And that was on Christmas. And so it's like I said, what happened was somebody put out a ripple effect while everyone was emotional at the Green Bay, and they just been running with it ever since. And here we are on June 28th, and we've strategically manipulated this clip and put it out there. And you know what I'm saying? There it is, bro. So,
and you know what's crazy? If you ask the Cleveland Browns, would they rather have Myles Garrett effect on games or a Micah Parsons? I'm probably sure they would probably pick Micah Parsons because listen to me, the sacks ain't even really helping them.
Bro, Micah Parsons 2 sacks versus Green Bay does us nothing in that playoff game.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing, bruh.
If he would have went out and sacked Jordan Love the first 2 drives, that changed absolutely nothing.
Nope.
So what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? The game is levels. You know what I'm saying? There's levels. And how hard is it for Cowboys fans to finally say, we just got our ass beat? Like, it was everybody but Michael Gallup, you know what I'm saying, got drug about that building. You know what I'm saying? That's
exactly what Wanye Thomas said. Wanye said, man,
it was everybody.
He's like, bro, we got our ass
lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like, we just got beat, and it's hard for Cowboys fans to accept it. So we want to point our finger at somebody. Go ahead and play that clip, bro.
All right, let's talk about this money now, because we ain't supposed to be talking about this money.
Don't put Micah yet. I feel like Micah
Like right before training camp. All of them should get their money, but who should go first?
Okay, so all of them should get their money thing.
At this point, right here, Malik Hooker knew he fucked up. I'm sorry. I gotta use.
Right.
He's at the point of no return after
this point right here. At this point right here, I'm thinking Malik Hooker is about to do a very experienced
U-turn. How about that?
Experienced a player. This is not my first rodeo. I've had this question asked me before. He's not about to do. He's not about to. I don't give a damn. What are you talking about? Ranking? What is you talking about, bruh?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this now. Micah should be. Micah, he shouldn't be yet. I wouldn't put Micah yet. I feel like we still got a lot to prove. Micah still has a lot to prove. Like he's done a great job his first couple years in the league. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player. But I feel like Micah still has a surface that he don't even know that he can scratch as far as what he's doing. So I would say Micah. I would say Micah's last, just for that reason. And I'll probably say Zach Martin would be after Micah.
Now, hey, I'm gonna say something real quick, right? Considering he's already spoke on Micah before in this, now one would think that he's just on here shitting on Micah. But you gotta remember that question about Micah's podcast, that was a question that Keyshawn asked him after talking about football. He just randomly went into, so what's up with this Micah Parsons podcast?
Since you done went down in the hole with me, let me go and give you a part B to what I really want to ask you. That's what's going on there.
Yeah, and all it took is for someone on Twitter to clip 15 seconds here, 17 seconds there, and post it and make a little thread that Malik Hooker was speaking the truth on Micah Parsons.
And I'm gonna tell you this right here. I can almost guarantee you, because these podcasts aren't like our podcasts, is how we sit down and we develop our own shows, right? These guys, I promise you, Keyshawn had his questions and the things that he was gonna talk about, but I promise you, that portion right there, that is marketing. That is another individual saying, hey, ask this question. Because I'm going to tell you this right here. The interview is supposed to flow, right? It's supposed to be flowing. When did we even talk about podcasts, right? And then also, Keyshawn Johnson, former player, he knows that players are not supposed to be talking about other people's money. So he knows that already going into this.
Right.
So it's like this was 100% a Keyshawn Johnson, let me get something so that I can go viral moment.
Yeah.
I have a Cowboys player. Like here's the crazy part, bro. Why are we not talking about Malik Hooker? I would hate for someone to have me on their show and all we talking about is West Coast, but y'all want to ask me some questions? You know what I'm saying? So you're sitting here talking about Micah. And like I said, do I think it was malicious? No, but you have to be aware of the setup. It's okay to give short answers sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people think Dak is robotic. Or this is why Dak just gives those same kind of just concrete answers because it doesn't give you enough to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? And you make the journalist, someone who's in media, you have to make the journalist do the job. But you gave it all to me. You know what I'm saying? You gave it all to me. I was saying, headline, Malik Hooker says that Micah Parsons should be paid last. Headline, Malik Hooker says that Micah Parsons podcast is a distraction. Even though that's not what you said, they got more than enough ammo to manipulate it.
Yeah.
And players just have to be a little bit smarter, especially when you're talking about your teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to say, hey man, I know it's the football side, the business side, hopefully the business pans out, but they all deserve to be paid.
Media savvy is again, I hate to be repetitive.
Yeah.
He's not that, but I'll tell you what, I'm like Tuck now. I would love to see Keyshawn's I don't know what he's on YouTube or whatever, but I would love to see
the numbers.
If he's on Facebook, I'd like to see how many more likes he got as far as followers, YouTube subscriptions. Because I'm like Tuck, I didn't even know he had one. I know now.
Yeah, you know now.
You know what I'm saying? I know now. What better way to get a nice little kickstart to it than to have a Cowboy player saying this type of things, obviously. So he reached his goal But I'm going now to Oxnard the first day when Jerry, Coach McCarthy, Steven, and Will McClay all sit up there on the first day. I said this, I think I said it here on West Show the other day. Man, can you imagine that opening press conference? It ain't gonna be nothing about football at all. Because I mean, all of this just adds up to be just a drama, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful type stuff, General Hospital type mess. Ain't nothing about football. It's really all about who gonna get paid, when they gonna get paid. This person said this. Is Micah Parsons a leader? Remember now, that's what Michael said about Coach McCarthy. Remember what he said. He said he talked to me about being a leader. Well, you'll be a fool to think that everybody on the team is dismissing this the way that we're doing it. Some of the people that don't like Micah, the ones that were mad at him for not showing up for minicamp and all that, guess what?
Voluntary.
Go ahead.
Voluntary minicamp.
Voluntary. They mad at him and he showed up, including his coach. You tell the way Zimmer was talking, the same thing. I don't know where he is, all this type of thing. So these are things that they're gonna be talking about on the first day, and you need to be on football, man. We ain't nowhere near where we need to be as a team coming in just the first day of Oxnard. I mean, it's like drama. I mean, at the umpteenth degree, it's just too much drama going on.
That and some of it, Cowboys fans are creating them damn
Cowboy fans.
Yes. Yeah. If that would have just been. I would say if it was just a podcast segment, right? Because one, no one's watching that full podcast segment. Keyshawn Johnson's keep it a buck, right?
Hey,
but
shout out to the timestamps, Lord.
Yeah,
that first half of that podcast was not.
Yeah, so someone's like sending to me, like, watch the full thing. I was like, not before I go on vacation. I'm not.
Right.
The hell if I am.
The whole interview is an hour, bruh. And literally, I was like, I'm about to sit here. Shout out to the Rogue Shop. Shout out to West Coast Cannabis. I was about to sit up here and smoke some of this West Coast cannabis, and I'm like, I'm not about to watch this. What is they talking about? Yeah. They ain't talking about nothing, bro.
It's nothing.
And like Malik, and Keyshawn one is not the most entertaining person, and then Malik Hooker is a football player. Like, he's not an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? He's a football player. You know what I'm saying? That's why he responded the way he responded. You know what I'm saying? But and it's crazy because that portion of the interview was at the very, very end. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that watch time. Watch time. You got to scroll all the way through that.
Yeah, without them segment breakups, you got to watch that whole damn show. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I know for sure it was a setup because you could just tell the whole flow of the interview. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, like, I think the onus is on everybody. And the onus is on the fans, man. The onus is on Malik Hooker. Why? Because as a more senior player, as a more senior celebrity, like, you've been a celebrity longer than Micah Parsons has been a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that if it's not absolutely I love Micah Parsons, he is the second coming of Jesus, then it's gonna be pursued as some hate or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
And it's I was gonna say, what you have to understand is how to read the room, right? And Suits the Landlord, we had this conversation on a show that we did, right? So right now, we know it's a lot of turmoil when it comes to Micah Parsons for whatever reason, right? So I was giving an example, right? I was watching the first game between the Fever and Chicago, right, when Caitlin Clark and Reese played each other. And I know everything surrounding them too. It's not just about basketball. There's other, malicious intent when it comes to those two players. And I was just simply watching the game, enjoying the game, being a fan. I was going to say, Angel Reese needs to get more aggressive on the boards to help. But I knew how that would be portrayed is that, Tuck's being negative. Tuck is that, like, it was going to get smeared out and viewed as something that it wasn't really. I'm just trying to talk ball, but everyone else is going to use it for their own ill will. You see what I'm saying? And that's what probably happened, is that Malik Hooker is just having a conversation, didn't mean any intent, but doesn't ring the room that all these people now are going to use it for their own ill will. And now we create this whole situation where you give them stories to write, you give them radio narratives, you give them TV narratives. You just created that whether you're wanting to or not. And it's unfortunate for players, right? Because it's like we want players to be more open and be more outspoken. But when it comes to Dallas, you just got to be
really time out. Who wants players to be? They don't. I'm gonna keep.
I do. They
personally do. They don't listen. We do for content creators.
But I'm saying as a fan too.
As a fan,
the Cowboys don't. I hate that Tony Romo. We's got to play better. The Dak, we's got to play better. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, so you want more. Like I feel like I get more from a West Coast and Henny and landlord sitting down with Jalen Tolbert than I gotten from 100 Jalen Tolbert interviews because you got that real from there. You see what I'm saying?
I'm saying like I thought you were saying like the back and forth between like players and stuff like that. No.
I'm talking about just interviews. You know what I'm saying? So we like the real interviews when they're being themselves, you know what I'm saying, and speaking more candidly. But when it comes to the Cowboys, it's always going to get weaponized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing about it is, it's like I think you can only be as smart as your fans, man. Like you can only be as smart as your fans. You can only be as protective as your as you can only be like. How do I say it? Like, if your fans come to you with knives out, then you got to kind of be ready for a fight. Like Dak lose on the field and he got to go put a suit on and be like, damn, now I got to go fight these motherfuckers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like our fans, like it has to be different knowing that like our fans aren't like other fans who I believe are just have understanding of like, damn, Dak doesn't have to be Jesus Christ 17 games.
Right.
There's other people that are getting paid too. You
right.
know, like you think Patrick Mahomes didn't even look like Patrick Mahomes until Patrick Mahomes had to be Patrick Mahomes last year.
Right.
And that was in the Super Bowl. Right. Other than that, Patrick Mahomes was not looking. I mean,
he lost to Green Bay, lost to Philly. Nothing.
Yeah, and he didn't look. There was moments where he did not look like Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the fans still allowed him room to be human. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like in Dallas, they don't allow you to be human. Like there is like the Cowboys. We almost think we like the damn Celtics in the 60s where we was winning like 13, 14 super championships in a row where it's like, you know, we're just going to keep winning them over. And you know what I'm saying? Like we haven't been to a Super Bowl in so long, but at the same time, our expectations are still just as high. And I get it. Fans say, oh, it's because we're the Cowboys. No, it's partially because of the fans. Because
of the fans.
Coming to these teams that they have put out on the field, your ass should have knew they was not Super Bowl teams. Why did you think they was a Super Bowl team? Like, come on, man. 2015, come on, bruh. That was not no damn Super Bowl team.
Right.
A lot of it is, man, look, let's just call it like it is. I call it, bottom line. We just not on the same page. Mm-hmm. We just not. And it's like half of us will say, this is what Dak did. It's facts. He's an all-pro.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of the fan base will say 2-5.
Mm-hmm.
They will totally dismiss what he did, how he carried this team. It's the same fan base that says, well, we had no running game. We really can't stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a defense. Okay, if we don't have all those three things, if we don't have a running game, if we had a put together offensive line because we had a lot of injuries, that the guys missed some games last year, then the obvious question is, how in the world did we win 12 games then?
Mm-hmm.
Who carried the franchise? You said it was not the running game. You said we can't stop the run. You said the defense fell off. Who carried the franchise?
Micah Parsons.
No answer.
Micah Parsons showed the last 6 games.
Was it Micah Parsons? No. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So then instead of saying, we don't like him, but you're right. Dak did carry the franchise. Right. They ain't gonna say that. The first thing they're gonna say, oh, well, he just, it's just a regular season. Now we go straight to the 2-5 narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So until we get on the same page, which is, never going to happen, especially as long as Dak is there under the center. Just to show you how crazy it is, everybody know what Dak is doing.
Right.
You can't deny it. But they calling for Trey Lance. I rest my case.
Well, I think someone just posted in the chat, right? 1 billion fans all on one accord. And that's the problem. We are so big, we have a lot of pollution in our fan base. You know what I'm saying? So we have people who are just here just to be here because they like the colors or they want to use it for the algorithm and different things like that. So they're not really fans like us. You know what I'm saying? They are just here to kind of exploit and get whatever they can take from Cowboys fans and Cowboys Nation and march on. So I think that's the problem. We're just so big. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like having a big event or a big party. You know what I'm saying? You might have 4 or 5 people who are up to no good that can ruin the entire event. That's the same thing with Cowboys Nation. You look around, it's like you can kind of see who is really here for the fans and who are really here for growth and for the team to win, or who's just kind of here to kind of manipulate things. And
who's here for solutions, and then who's here for negativity,
problems, right? And we can all look around and kind of see, them over there is trouble, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like them over there is trouble, and here they come, just trying to create something when it comes to this team. And it's unfortunate. And here's the crazy part, right? Think about this, chat. Who gets more criticism for off the field? Let's just say off the field. Micah Parsons or Sam Williams? Micah Parsons gets more criticism for his off the field behavior than someone who's been driving reckless, I'm saying all sorts of stuff, who's jumping off sides, getting penalties, playing undisciplined, right? And so why isn't the same energy? Like we're the Dallas Cowboys. We didn't have players who did all sorts of stuff from DUIs to cases. We are over here picking straws and grasping at straws over a podcast and shoes. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Think about what's going on here in Kansas City. Every day there's an arrest. You know what I'm saying? Every day from Rashee Rice to this and that. There's so much going on. They ain't trying to get Rashee Rice been at practice like nothing ever happened. But we are over here, a podcast.
Wide open.
A podcast. Podcast.
And think about it.
He hasn't dropped. I don't think he's dropped the episode since the Super Bowl.
No, he has not. And think about it, Tuck. Here's the thing, and everybody got to agree with this. The intensity of Micah Parsons talk did not pick up until it was time to perhaps start talking about money. And then, as the Cowboy playbook often shows, whenever there's a talk about money with a player that perhaps can break the bank, especially when it comes out and says, hey, he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, then all of a sudden, here we go with stuff just like this.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you how this right, Kelvin Hicks. Sam Williams was not the only person that had. Every single person on the Dallas Cowboys had some type of playoff party planned for after that game, bro. And the only problem is Sam Williams made a flyer. That's the only difference. Every single, I'm pretty sure Dak Prescott had a bunch of family that was going to be at his house that was going to be hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you how this right here. We need to, like, one thing we need to remember is, and one thing I love about social media is it constantly reminds us that these dudes are freaking human. And they are subject to mistakes. They are subject to going on and saying the wrong thing. You guys honestly think just because this kid had an opportunity that, and this, I'm going to tell you what had happened is, it's called loser mentality. And what it's about is this: you never really amounted to a lot in your life. So then you look at this guy who has achieved one thing. Because listen to me. Outside of going into the NFL, I don't know if Micah Parsons achieved a lot of things in life. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that he's achieved. He might have failed in everything else. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If you count up achievements and things in life, you might actually be winning more things than Micah Parsons. The only problem is his job makes more than you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop putting this God conscience on these players and on these guys, because they are still very subject to doing what? Going left and just being doing life happening, right?
West Coast. Let me ask you this, right? I asked everybody in the chat. We just had a bad day at work, a bad day. Damn, man, Friday sucked. You know what I'm saying? My boss was on me. You know what I'm saying? I botched a big deal. We probably gonna go home, grab a drink, or do whatever you do, or maybe go out to the bar, blow off some steam, sit back, maybe watch some Netflix, or maybe play video games or do something like that. And it's perfectly fine. It's the normal. But lo and behold, if a player lost a playoff game and say, you know what, I played bad, bro, I just need to go out and get a drink real quick, and y'all snap a picture, he is the worst human being on the planet. We do the same thing. Like, we do that. They are human. And I think that's one of the the benefits that some of us have, you know, whether it's media content creators, we are around these guys. We talk to these guys. They are just like us. They can just run faster and jump higher. You know what I'm saying? Like they do the same. So just like you had a stressful day at work or you're tired and it's Friday in the weekend, you might want to go play video games. Just like me, I get off of work and I want to go play. I want to go live and talk to Cowboys fans. Does that not mean I'm focused on my day-to-day activities? If I take an hour to release myself and talk to the fan base and do a live stream that y'all love or do something that I'm passionate about? So I don't understand why we want these players just to eat protein and do push-ups and watch film, and that's all you can do. And here's the craziest part about this, y'all. We have the model example of a player that says all the right things. Even when it's time to work, he works. Even when it's not time to work, he works. You know, never got any off the field issues, does everything charity, Walter Payton Man of the Year award, and he gets slandered every time you guys can open his mouth when it comes to Dak Prescott. You can't have a better prime leader than Dak Prescott. And y'all still criticize him. You know what I'm saying? So damned if you do, damned if you don't. So if you're Micah Parsons, they treat Dak like this, what the hell are they going to do to me? You know, and it's crazy. Say, I don't just say, listen, I get it. We all get it. I'm tired of losing. I won a Super Bowl. I get it. I'm there. We was all there at that playoff game. Hell, we've been at all of them. But don't sit here and just find things to pull from these players. Every little thing. Oh, he's out in Japan. He's out in Japan. Okay, cool. I want to go to Japan. I'm going on vacation. So if I go on vacation tomorrow with my wife and my kids, does that mean I'm not focused on content no more? Or am I just taking a quick break before it's time to ramp up for the season?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. They're not paying Micah Parsons to do football right now. So what is the real problem? Well, they're not paying Malik Hooker to do football right now. You know what they're paying Micah Parsons to get paid to do right now? Rest.
And be a brand ambassador.
Like that, but I'm just saying, like, even like that, that's what he's that's what he's calling off season. Like, you have to give your body time to rest. And I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. Like, we cannot be afraid of players getting smarter, man. Like, at the end of the day, you know, for a long, long time, you know, I say a lot of stuff that get me canceled, but it's the best way I can say it. There's been some slave mentality around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, people been making peanuts. You know what I'm saying?
They steadily trying to add on games.
Yeah. What they say? What they say on what they say on King of New York? He was saying, "Hey man, we've been starving." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all getting fat. You know what I'm saying? The NFL been making billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. Now people are upset because players are learning the NFL learned, oh my God, why? How about we take the games off of TV and put them on streaming? Why? Because there's a YouTube app on every cell phone, and everybody in the world has cell phones, but everybody in the world don't have TVs. That makes more sense. So why do you get mad because players be like, hey, if they can get on streaming platforms,
why shouldn't I get on a streaming platform?
Why shouldn't I get on a streaming platform? Considering they're selling my likeness on that same platform.
And here's what people don't understand. It's encouraged. Oh, go ahead.
You don't have a problem with the NFL being on YouTube, but you have a problem with the NFL's players being on YouTube.
Right. And here's the thing. Agents are now encouraging their players to be on YouTube.
To do
now, case in point, y'all know I do a lot of draft content. So my guy, Javon Baker, who was drafted by New England, he has a YouTube channel. He had it in college. And so I was following his day-to-day activities, his workouts, who he worked out, who he trained with. You always see preparing for the draft channels with these players. It is a new day and age, y'all. It's a new day and age, and players going to have social media. You know
I carried even a step further. To my nephew is a wide receiver for the University of Wyoming. He had, I guess, I don't know if the boy signed an agent or not, but he had the advice of someone to do exactly what you just said. Do a YouTube channel. And here was the caveat. We will sponsor you.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you're telling a college kid that who don't have the Arch Manning NIL deal. See what I'm saying? And you do that. So it just supports what you're saying. It's just not at a pro level. Man, this thing is spreading downward even to the college athletes, to make a brand out of their names. I mean, good Lord, what do you think Deion's sons have done?
Right. Yeah.
They're already 3, 4, 5 steps ahead already.
Right.
And doing just what they're doing now. So you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, they're trying to make sure these guys got some money in their pocket.
Right.
But you can't stop the off-season work before things really ramp up. Like Wes just said, it's the off season, which means you don't have nothing to do with football as of now. You're just getting rest. And if you want to run your mouth with a microphone in it, it's okay. The only thing we're saying is, in some instances, even though you got the power and the ability to run your mouth, just watch what you say.
Right.
That's the only thing we're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Just be careful, right? You don't be a loose cannon, but it's going to be encouraged. I know I have a friend. He plays AAU basketball. He's one of the top 5th graders in the city of Houston basketball. He has a YouTube channel. I watch all of his highlight videos of that. It's just the new day and age, because now players are able to expand their own brand under their own control, independent. What the hell do y'all think we're doing right now?
Yeah, look what we're doing. Look what we've been talking about.
Look what we're doing right now. We have grown our brand to West Coast now has a brand over 100,000 people. Right? He was able to do that on his own from his own home.
My dog not even known by his real name. Folks just say West Coast.
That's what I'm saying. To where he goes out. I've been with Star Studded West Coast. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be Robin a little bit. West Coast. What's going on, West? What's going on, West? Run the damn ball. Right? He's able to do that and built his own brand. He didn't need a radio station. He didn't need a newspaper. He didn't need ESPN. He built his own brand, his own following, and he's under full control. We are all doing the same thing. Why do you don't think players can do the same thing? Where if you're sitting back and you might be, the second corner, the third corner on an NFL team, well, why not go ahead and start your podcast and get a bunch of fans to rally around you and communicate with fans? You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different things that can go on. It's a new day and age, and a lot of Cowboys fans have this old mentality. I just want you to shut up and play ball, right? But they'll do that. But then if somebody goes out in the middle of the night and hunts wolves instead of a podcast, that's acceptable, right? That's acceptable, right? Going out and shooting stuff in the middle of the night, we all howling. You know what I'm saying? But a podcast and some shoes to a Mavericks game, that's where we have to draw the line. It's fake, it's false, it's hypocritical, and Cowboys Nation needs to do better.
Yeah. You almost ran on a serious matter right there. I'm gonna bag up off that. I'm gonna bag up off that one. At the
end of the day,
we see it though. We see it though.
I think
I don't see it.
I think it's when we can wrap it up with this too. It's like, if you don't like somebody, you ain't gonna like nothing about them. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's just what it is. Like, if you don't like someone, you probably don't like their cooking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the Cowboys have already introduced and given you a reason on why not to like Micah Parsons.
Right.
So, like, if you're not a bipartisan person, basically means you stand in the middle and then look at both sides on the left and right and then pick your decision.
Right.
If you're not built that way, you already went in it with the notion of, I don't like Micah Parsons. So this is another thing to solidify why I don't like him. Or the biggest thing is with your quarterback, Dak Prescott. That's why, me personally, I don't even debate the whole Dak Prescott thing, because people who don't like Dak Prescott, if you listen to what the things they say, the intensity and the magnitude, it's like you meet a girl, right? You meet a girl, right? And you meet her for you've been dating her for a week, right? Mm-hmm. And in the first week, she scream at you, I can't trust you. You always been doing this to me for the last 20 years you've been doing. You're like, wait, time out. How could you be this mad at me? I've only known you for a week.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this can't be me. Like, this has to be coming from somewhere else.
Yep.
So it's like, when I hear people doing that, like, I listen to it and I be like I get it. Like, you're upset with the Dallas Cowboys as a whole at the quarterback position, or as a whole, because you feel that the quarterback position carries so much weight that his play alone is what produces winning games and losing games. Well, guess what? If you feel that wholeheartedly, then you actually agree that Dak Prescott should be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in football then.
Yep. It's just like you're saying, Wes. It's like dating that girl who's been hurt, and you might be a nice guy. They just looking for your reason for you that you cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like they just finding something. Okay, you came home from work 5 minutes late. Okay, you up to no good. That's why I can't. You're like, bro, you are looking for a reason to find something wrong. And I think that's what Cowboys fans are doing right now. They just been hurt so many times. They just trying to find something. Oh, Micah's just like the last one. Micah's just like the last one. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all snapping y'all fingers and all that. That's what y'all doing right now. See, I told you he was no good. Like, bro, like let it play out. Let him actually cheat on you and hurt you first. Then you can be hurt. But y'all just trying to be hurt by a 3-time All-Pro, one of the top defensive players, a complete game wrecker. You know what I'm saying? They completely changes the way that y'all don't remember how bad our defense was before we got Micah Parsons. Right. Y'all remember? Do we have to go through revisionist history and go through that Mike Nolan defense until we got this line out there? Right. But y'all just, I told you, girl, he ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'd rather just be on my own. That's what y'all sound like, a bunch of bitter, it's a bunch of upset individuals. You know what I'm saying?
I like the way you hit them brakes there, Tuck. That was smooth. That was smooth how you did. I caught you though. You know what I'm saying? That was smooth.
I was about to slip, man, but it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this, and then I'll be through. Here's the truth: people are using football. I'm strictly using Dak right here. People are using football as the camouflage to hide what they really feel.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, that is a conversation that a lot of people don't want, because, see, when it comes to that, it is obvious that a lot of people done went beyond football when it counts for Dak Prescott.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
And you know what's true? And you know how you know it's factual? Because they're doing the exact same thing with Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. The hope that you have in Trey Lance is not football, because his gameplay and his game film does not say that he's warranted this type of hope at all. But he's getting it. Mm-hmm. This is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of everybody saying that Trey Lance he's a 5th round pick. You know what I'm saying? But then you looking at him as a 1st round, be like, okay, well, where are you getting that from? Mm-hmm. What film are you using? And that's what I always ask fans, like, you know, and that's why I say it's strong. Hate is always strong, because you will literally, because you don't like someone or because you don't like the way that person made you feel, you're willing to actually take steps backwards. You know what I'm saying? So then I then want to question to you, how important is winning to you? Like I was never a big Shaquille O'Neal fan. You know what I'm saying? I believe because of Shaq leaving, you know, we could have probably got a couple more titles. Now, Kobe did get 2 when he left, but I still believe he could have got even more. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm never going to deny the greatness of Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Cowboy fans do. And then the last thing I was going to say this too is, Cowboy, most fan base have a bunch of broke fans. That's just what it is. We're a bunch of regular people paying these exuberant tickets to go watch these people play, right? Mm-hmm. The only problem is everybody else's fan base, they just pay the shit and shut their mouth and just go support their team, right?
Right.
Dallas Cowboys, man, listen to me. You see a guy, Micah Parsons, get paid, and the first thing we instantly go do is go check our bank account and be like, well, damn, I'm the Micah Parsons at my job, and they ain't even taking care of me like this. And he out here with a podcast. Bro, what is you talking about? You work 8 hours a day, and then you, for the next, 16 hours of the day, you're doing more non-work than you are doing work. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you know,
they tell players they need to focus on their job while they watching West Coast at work. They watching West Coast at work. They watching West Coast Jay Tucker Big Time at work right now, and got some nerd to tell Micah Parsons he needs to focus on football.
Exactly, bro. So that's what I be saying.
Ain't everybody off at 4:00? Ain't everybody off at 4:00?
It's only 2 in California, so you know what I mean. Unless you're a business owner, your ass should be working right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like that, and that's why I say, like, that's the difference. That's another thing that I feel is a difference between, like, Cowboy fans. Cowboy fans just don't have a line of being rational. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. We can all be delusional. Every year we trying to win the Super Bowl. That's delusional hell, because the math says that's not realistic, but we still gonna believe in it.
Right.
But when do we actually believe in, like, rational and real stuff? like Santa Claus isn't real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just
somebody really does.
Is what it is.
So somebody really does have to buy Christmas gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Like I said, I get it. We frustrated that we lost Cowboys Nation, but we got to do better. Let's not create drama ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Let there be drama. Let there be drama, then we'll address it. You know what I'm saying? But we're always, honestly, I think it comes from up above, right? Because we're always manipulated and, you know what I'm saying, and triggered and trolled, and we got fake auto bots probably right in the chat talking Dak, you know what I'm saying? So we're always these emotional strings when it comes to Cowboys Nation being pulled, but there's sometimes it's okay to log off, go take a walk with your family, and just get away from it. We don't need to create. You do not need to create negativity when it comes to the Cowboys when it comes to June 28th. If we sit back and be patient, in less than 30 days when we get to camp, you're gonna have all the stories y'all want to talk. You're gonna have so many stories, y'all gonna be overwhelmed. You don't need to create some. And that's what happened today. Twitter went ahead and created this monster, and people gonna be talking about it all week next week. Not me. On be on the island.
I mean, if CD Lamb ain't in training camp, if Dak ain't in training camp, you're gonna have bigger problems than anything else.
Yeah, you have so many stories at training camp.
Malik and Micah can fight in the locker every day, or all I give a damn.
And I'll ask the chat this: what have you heard more about, Micah Parsons' absence from voluntary, right, or where's our defensive tackle rotation? Does anybody know where Marquise Bell's been as far as his reps? Does anyone know who's been the left tackle outside of Tyler Guyton? Like all these questions we don't know about, but we taking head count at voluntary workouts.
How much time is Brock Hoffman splitting with BB?
Cooper Beebe. And I think that's the problem. And that's why I have to apologize to mainstream media, is that their focus, they think that isn't exciting. They don't think Brock Hoffman versus Cooper Beebe is exciting. Where us, the real diehard people who believe this, that's what we watching. That's what we watching. You know, I don't care about what Micah wore to a Mavs game. You know, how's Eric Scott looking? Like, is he developed? What are we going to do with Nashawn Wright?
What is Sam Williams looking like?
What is Sam Williams looking like? Is he going to play corner? Is he going to play safety? Like, what's going to happen with Donovan Wilson versus Wanye? Like, there's so many different stories out there. But we focusing on Micah's shoes.
None of that stuff is interesting. Man, all that stuff sound.
Football ain't interesting right now.
Football is not interesting to them.
Right now. Right now.
Hey, keep it that way because it keeps us lit.
But listen to me. Football is only interesting to most fans when football is on the TV. That's it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real with you. Most people can't talk football if football is not on the TV.
And that's where we come to play. That's why me and Henny did a whole 3-week segment last year on breaking down the West Coast offense, and then people all want to act like, oh, I'm surprised that this offense worked, when we were telling y'all what we went down concepts, the sale, the levels, the flood, everything. Nobody wanted to pay attention, right? Yeah. But then all of a sudden, man, Dak's balling out this year under Mike McCarthy. Yeah, because like, God, you know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, man. But keep y'all head on the swivel, Cowboys Nation. We got weeks till we get to camp, so they gonna sit there and manipulate y'all to do whatever they gotta do to keep them clicks rolling, bro. It's unfortunate, man.
Somebody said last time the Cowboys won a chip, Harriet Tubman was at the parade. Well, guess what? It's be funny because the 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl earlier than the Cowboys, which is why they don't get as much heat as the Cowboys. I don't know. Ask 49er fan. I guess the 49ers don't care about winning Super Bowls every year.
It's because the media there's no clicks in it. There's no clicks. Isn't Brock Purdy up for a contract? Shouldn't that be a conversation?
But I'm sorry, Tuck and West. I forgot. The 49ers have been to the Super Bowl, and they have been at least in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
But check it out. The goalposts move for them teams.
Yeah, that's why I say. That's what
I'm saying. The Cowboys have to win the Super Bowl. Everybody else is satisfied with just getting close or going there.
Ask a 49er fan. Ask a 49er fan. Do they feel like they were the second best team? Like did they get any enjoyment out of that? I promise you
they better not lie, because I was in the building. I saw them all walking out, tears on their face, hurt.
No, nobody. Listen, if you don't win, listen to me. If you don't win the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this: if you don't win the Super Bowl, your tears are just prolonged to a later day. That's it.
All it did means you paid more money to see your L.
Yeah, they just push your tears back to a later day. That's it. That's why I told him, like, everybody was like, oh, the Cowboys don't have a winning record in the playoffs. I'm like, well, I would think the only team that got a winning record in the playoffs is like the Chiefs. Why? Because it's a 1-game tournament. You got to win to stay in.
Case in point, I'm a Mavericks fan. You think I'm beating my chest because we lost to Boston in the finals? Think I'm feeling good? No, we got packed up. You know what I'm saying? We got dog walk. If Green Bay happens in the NFC Championship game, I'm not feeling good. I'm not beating on my chest. Like, what are we talking about? That means we paid even more money, probably paid triple to get dog walk versus Green Bay in an NFC Championship game. You're either a champion or you're a loser. There's no in between.
Hey, you know, this is the last thing I promise. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. The funniest moment in Cowboydom is when Dak threw those 5 touchdowns versus Tom Brady and was God for 5 days in y'all eyes. Like, Dak didn't do no wrong for 5 days.
Right.
And, oh my God, did those 5 days go there? It was ridiculous. Like, bro, I had 14. I remember, bro, I went live at 2 a.m. in Tampa Bay. I had 1,400 people on there watching my show, bro. We were just like, we had people on there offering to just pay Dak's taxes for the next 50 years, bro. They were just,
remember, Wes, they said the same friend.
You had 50 women trying to have Dak's baby on the spot, bro. Like, bro, he just retired Tom Brady with 5 touchdowns. Dak is walking Jesus Christ, and then he became Lucifer.
and now it's, well, that team wasn't good. Even though that same team beat us that season, Tampa wasn't really that good. But every Cowboys fan was scared as hell to go to Tampa. I remember the videos.
You remember the rollout all the memes they had about Tom Brady beating the Dallas Cowboys? Yeah. They ain't never beat the Dallas. Now
it don't matter. Now it don't matter. He's too
old. He too old now.
Yeah, now it's old Tom Brady, right? And it's just like, y'all forget those moments. Y'all forget all those moments that Micah Parsons was lighting stuff on fire. Y'all forget how, because we do this every offseason. CeeDee Lamb had so many drops. He's not a number 1 wide receiver. Then he breaks records. Now he needs to be paid. He needs to be at camp, right? Sit back, just be patient, y'all.
Yeah.
Let it all.
Hey, I got a request for Tug, because he'll do it. I'm gonna tell you, there's a defense that perplexes Dak Prescott that does make him look very human. And I want to see somebody do a film study and actually break this thing down. Dak Prescott has statistically, I just made up a word, statistically, that 49er defense, bro.
Well, the good thing about that is what Coach Zimmer runs. So he should see it a lot because there's a lot of roll coverages post snap. So that's typically what Zim's defense. I'm going to do a video on it soon, but not next week, bro. I'm chilling. Yeah. But Coach Zimmer runs a lot of roll coverages, right? And I think that's where Dak really gets confused. It was post snaps where you have the look, right? It might be a too high safety look, but all of a sudden you snap the ball. Now this safety kind of runs in a robber and it throws everything off, and then you're still getting pressure. I think that disrupts him post snap. So that's why when me and Henry was talking about the West Coast offense, it was going to simplify things versus all those option routes that Kellen Moore had. And I just think he has to continue to work on that, because you go back to the game where it was versus the Cardinals, not last year, but the year prior, with the Budda Baker game, when they were moving Budda Baker all over the field and was just throwing Dak off. Like that's Achilles heel. So we have to kind of break that. But Coach Zimmer does that a little bit as well.
I know we've got to go, but it also helped Tuck, and it's easy to kind of play defense. I ain't gonna say easy, but it's obvious when you already know what they running. Because we running a stop, we running a slant, and those were the ones that Dak always seemed to miss.
Right.
When that linebackers right there on the little slant pattern, they just sitting there waiting. Right. Whether he sees Dak may try to look it off, come right back to it, the ball gone, because you're on a timing route. He ain't got time to look. But I'm saying those are but they're sitting there because there's really not any new route concepts to keep going, make things a little different. We run the slant probably more than anybody in the league almost. Right. That's all I see. You know what I'm saying? So that's another whole film study within the
that's a whole other project, man. But yeah.
Hey, what up, Gabe?
Not next week though.
Not next week, bro.
Hey, shout out to Gabe. I gave you he was asking for a shout out, so I gave it to him. But hey, man, I appreciate everybody for coming out here. Henny was on. He's in the comment box. He was out and about in the world, so his service was really bad. So that's why we couldn't really get him on here.
Hey, Henry lighting them folks up in the chat, man.
But he is, yeah. If you want to talk to him, all you gotta do is say something in the chat, and he'll get you on here.
Yeah, Henry lighting people up. He going back and forth with somebody. I forgot who it was. But he lighting them folks up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to me. If you really want to, like, if you really having a hard time getting through off season, just find you a Dak hater and just argue with him all the way up to training camp. You'll be fine.
But here's the thing, y'all. I've been doing content since 2020. I have yet to find one Dak hater who can come on my channel.
You're not gonna do it, bro.
I've offered. I put $1,000 up one time.
No one's ever gonna do that because
$1,000 cash. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it. I just want to find one. There has to be one out there.
Because at some point of the conversation, it's gonna get like this. Well, that
zombies. That's what they sound.
Well, once you go past 2 and 5, that's the end of their conversation.
What is he doing in the playoffs? What's Lamar doing in the playoffs? What's Josh Allen doing in the playoffs? What is what I'm saying?
That's it. Yeah.
They start fumbling, mumbling, stumbling.
Trevor Lawrence, who's the highest paid quarterback, bro. I would have never thought in my life Trevor Lawrence would be the highest paid quarterback in football. That is crazy.
And you think the MVP runner-up pretty much is going to take less than that? People are crazy.
Crazy. You guys remember the MVP runner-up should be replaced by a third-string quarterback named Trey Lance, though. So
that's what they said.
When the entire draft class of people drafted besides Trevor Lawrence is now all backups.
And I'm gonna say this real quick since we're all being facetious and petty. Hey, I don't trust the Dallas Cowboys in many things in life, but you know who I do trust when it comes to quarterbacks? I trust the 49ers. You want to know why? Because they have made something work with just about everybody's quarterback that somebody didn't want.
But they didn't want Trey Lance, though.
Wait, time out. Wait a goddamn minute.
No, you did
not.
Wait
a goddamn minute now, because I was gonna say this is the same franchise that made something out of Kaepernick. This is the same franchise that made something out of Garoppolo. This is the same franchise that made something after Mr. Irrelevant. The whole NFL did not want him. So what I'm saying is, I think somebody in San Francisco has an eye for the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might be a quarterback whisperer.
But if they're a quarterback whisperer and had an eye for a quarterback, why isn't Trey Lance still there?
Bruh, that's what I be saying. Like, bruh, why? Like, that's what I be tripping out. Like, bruh, we just they are obviously better at finding quarterbacks than we are. Obviously better.
They got Mr. Irrelevant,
but we don't trust them though.
They got Mr. Irrelevant and Trey Law, a first round pick, top 5 pick. Lost to Mr. Irrelevant, and they got rid of him. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold in a Jets uniform looked like he was looking at a deer in headlights. Mm-hmm. Couldn't even hike the ball sometimes. Trey couldn't beat him out. 2
top 10 picks they benched. Bruh.
Trey couldn't beat him out.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. And here's the crazy part, right?
But we know
if the Cowboys wouldn't have been so hot in the pants to try to put leverage on Dak Prescott, if you would have got Justin Fields, then I'd probably been a little bit more open. You know what I'm saying? I'd have probably been a little bit more open if you would have got Justin Fields, right? But it's like for Trey Lance, there's going to be a learning curve. And I'm not saying in the crazy part, I was the only one in Cowboys Nation excited that we got Trey Lance because I thought it was about replacing Cooper Rush until I saw the Stephen Jones interview and he started talking about the contract. I was like, okay, this is what this is really about, right? But I feel like Trey Lance can grow. But a lot of us, bro, I'm not trying to wait 4 to 5 years. I'm not trying to wait 4 to 5 years. So if there's no way that anybody could come on my channel, West Coast channel, Big, your channel, whoever, and convince me that Trey Lance puts the Cowboys this year in a better winning situation than Dak Prescott.
Is he better than Cooper Rush? No.
Well, the Cowboys don't believe that because if they did, they would have played him.
Is Trey Lance deserved to beat out Cooper Rush?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
Here's how it happens. If Dak Prescott signs the extension, Cooper Rush is quarterback too. If he doesn't sign, Trey Lance wins the job. So
thank you.
There we go.
That's pretty much how it is, man.
That's it. That's really it. That's it for real.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously, I'm serious. That's
football related. Don't think if Cooper Rush comes out there willing and dealing, having his best preseason, his best camp, and Dak don't sign this deal, that Trey Lance is not getting that quarterback 2 slot. He's getting it. He's gonna get it. Now, if Dak signs tomorrow, Okay, they're gonna be shopping. They're gonna put them on display to shop them, but it's not about football. It's all about this contract and leverage, which is the frustrating part. So
Yeah.
it is, man.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this right here. The reason why the Cowboys didn't play him last year in the regular season is because, to be honest with you, I don't think the Cowboys at that point trusted his play, and they felt that bad film was more detrimental than good film. You know what I'm saying? If you can't guarantee to put somebody out there on the field, and they put guaranteed good film out there, you don't put them on the field. Especially when you feel that he's going to be a commodity. Why? Because you're going to diminish exactly what you want to put Trey Lance in the best opportunity to succeed. So you know what the Cowboys said? Your ass is going to play next year in the preseason. That's what they said, and that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They want him playing in the preseason versus me, Jay, Tuck, and Henny. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be playing corner. Tuck gonna be playing linebacker and big time. You look like that. You look like I ain't gonna lie. You look like a little D tackle. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I lost 60 pounds, man. You gotta give me linebacker now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mike.
My jaw's just fat. That's all.
Well, hey, man. So that's who we gonna be playing against. And guess what? I'm not about to just give up like that. So you know what I mean. He may not get a pass on me. So I mean that's what the preseason is. But yeah, we gonna see. We gonna encourage everybody, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let the Dallas Cowboys willingly use me as a pawn. You know what I'm saying? Right. But yo, that's your boy West Coast. I will be dropping content later on today. Make sure you guys tap in, no matter where we tap in. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Make sure you guys watch our short content. These live feeds, we appreciate y'all for showing them. But make sure you guys show some love to our short content, which we will be dropping later on today, man. I'm your boy West Coast. Tuck, where they can find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. Of course, the YouTube channel, CFO Sports, man. Come over there. We're doing a lot of film breakdown, a lot of lives, got a lot of guests going on, man. We coasting, getting ready for the season. As soon as camp kicks off, man, we're going to take it to a whole nother level. So appreciate y'all, my guys. And Big, nice meeting you for the first time, bro. Hit me. We definitely going to rock again soon.
I appreciate it, and I will, Tuck. Awesome work, Wes. Incredible. Listen, you can follow me. Just come to Facebook or YouTube for now. I'm everywhere, but if you do that, turn the live notifications on. Obviously, you'll be able to see me, the Big Time Show. Just type in the Big Time Show. Follow me there tonight. I'm coming live tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the LeBron thing. So y'all look, I'm telling you now. I'm quite sure I have a nice split audience as far as feelings goes. I will, at least from my perspective, I'm not saying I'm the all and end all, but there's a lot of angles you can go with concerning this. We're going to talk about it tonight. Come to the Big Time Show. Let's see if you agree with me. If not, maybe I can learn something from you. But either way, come on, hang with me tonight.
Hey, and on that note, I'm going to tell y'all too, man, 2 of my biggest videos this month were non-Dallas Cowboy videos. So, like, I'm gonna make sure I give you guys, that y'all showed me that y'all watch stuff outside of content, because my LeBron James video did 46,000 views. My reel about LeBron James and his son, that mess did 46,000 views. I don't have no other reel this month that did 47. Well, I do got some that did some views like that, but point and blank is that's a lot of views for some non-Cowboy content on a Cowboy page. So we definitely gonna be putting content. You know what I'm saying?
Just like these players, we are more than the Dallas Cowboys, y'all.
Oh God, yes.
We are more than Dallas Cowboys. So we get that sometimes. So like I'm doing a lot of motivational stuff, inspirational stuff. It's like let's talk about the Cowboys. Nope. Because if you don't have your life balance, you don't have your life correct, none of this football stuff means anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
it's having balance. But hey, man, you guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because stars up. Peace.